Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from South Haven, Mississippi. Sorry I'm on a few minutes late. We just got back from the dog park where Zephy's just had a great run. She didn't get one in this morning because when we went to go over there were these two basset hounds that were just standing at the fence and just barking like crazy. So we ended up doing a walk around the campground this morning. Zephy was not impressed. So how did you do with, so she's just had a fantastic run around the dog park, going up and down the hills, down into the basin, zooming from one end of the park to the other, and just having a blast. I always love it. The look on her face is just pure joy. And she did get into turbocharge mode. Now, the video I posted in Zephy's Great Adventures the other day, she was not running her fastest in that. If you notice, her ears were up. When she's in turbo mode, she pins her ears back flat against her head. And she just flies, and she actually did that today from one end of the park to the other. She just pinned her ears down and flew, and then as she got towards the other end, the ears popped up and she slowed down. So that video, if you saw it, that I posted the other day from Zephy's Great Adventures, that was not her at her fastest, just to give you some idea that she is fast. It's been a heck of a day. I tell you, it's been awesome. I have had the most amazing day. But first of all, how did you get on with your challenge for today? How did you get on with the mindset, with finding your power color, the color that makes you feel the best? So when you put it on, the one that when you're feeling down and out, you want to brighten yourself up, what color do you reach for and put on? What's the color that gives you the confidence when you're wearing a certain top? Because of the certain color that it is, it boosts your confidence. You can go out there, you can do things better than you thought you could do. What is the color that gives you that strength, that inner strength, that inspiration, that creativity? Did you figure that out today? And then on your business one, it was all about putting the plans into your calendar and color coding them based on what you needed to tap into. So if you needed to tap into creativity, did you highlight those meetings with either an orange or a yellow? If you needed to have a bit of a power play, did you put red in there? If you needed to be calm on a meeting, did you put it in blue or green? Did you color code your calendar? Did you color code your project board? Mine still needs some work, although I color code mine based on the method I'm going to have to complete the task with. And then on fun, excuse me, it was all about balloons, water balloons, those long balloons that you can create shapes out of, just regular balloons, hot air balloons. Did you have fun with balloons today? Did you play some balloon soccer, have a water balloon fight, war or whatever? Did you just have fun with balloons today? My day got off, pretty well. We had a nice good walk around the park today since we couldn't go to the dog park. So we walked around the campground today and got some nice exercise that way, although it was a little on the warm side. It was already in the 80s at 7 o'clock this morning. It was, I like cool mornings. If I'm going to go out for a walk, I like it to be nice and cool, not hot, although it was a dry heat. And when we were just over at the dog park again, it was a dry heat, but there's some dark clouds coming over, so I wonder if we're going to be in for a storm or two. There's been a nice breeze blowing all day, but it was a hot breeze. So we'll see how that goes. I had my intensive interview ROI workshop today. It was 4 hours. It was phenomenal. I think I wrote like 7 or 8 pages of notes. There's a book that you can download after it that has all the notes and everything in it, but I was taking notes along the way as well, and missing out parts since I knew that they were in the workbook. There was a workbook, there's a guide and an action book, so we got both of those there. That was part of that. The instructors they had were there was just amazing instructors and lots of awesome information. But the best part of the entire day, so we had the 4-hour workshop, and then they were basically done, and then they did a Q&A session. So it was like when you go to a seminar or something and you have a meeting after the meeting. We had that on Zoom tonight. It was awesome, and there was just gold in that meeting after the meeting tonight. It was amazing, and I think we were on for almost an hour after the meeting finished. I don't remember. It was a lot of good information and everything else. So I'm looking forward to attending their workshop. I signed up for the more intensive workshop. because that there was just sort of like the bare basics. But I'll tell you, one thing they had us do in the middle of all of this is they actually did a let's get your background worked out. So normally when I'm sitting on my computer, I'm more over this way, and you can see my project board up there, and you're seeing me and all of that sort of stuff, and the lighting wasn't the greatest. And so so they went through some of the changes that we needed to make, and I was like thinking, how can I do this? Because I'm limited. If it doesn't have a window on a wall, it has a mirror. I have no blank wall space. No clean blank wall space in this place. It is there's windows everywhere, there's mirrors everywhere. If there's my only blank wall, if there is one, is my hallway, but there's a shower on one side and then there's the bathroom door on the other. And I was like thinking, how can I do this? So all I did is I just swiveled my laptop, which normally sits directly in front of me this way, and switched it to over here. So now you're getting to see the blinds behind me, but it now makes me a neutral background rather than having a busy background behind me. And then I moved the computer a little closer so that my eyes were in the top third of the screen and all that. And I do have to prop it up a little bit so that the camera level is, because the camera has to be eye level or above, slightly above, when you're doing the zooms and things. So it was just those little things. And then I remembered that I had a round lighting thing that you can actually put over your iPhone to give you really good light. It's currently on the charger, so I've got the overhead light on right now, but I was able to put that on the computer, and it just changed everything. And in 5 minutes he had he had us on our cameras, with all of our cameras on, watching us change our backgrounds and everything else, and the difference that made was huge. Now some people couldn't change their background because of where they were, but those that were able to, there was a big difference in the backgrounds, and it just made such a huge difference moving the computer around so that your eyes are in the top third of the screen and you're a little closer. You're not sitting back and relaxed. It's you're up and paying attention and things. So that in itself was just that was awesome. It was a lot of fun. So totally looking forward to the next 90 weeks, 90 days. There's a 90-day workshop, so the next 3 months. Going to be in an intensive workshop on how to be interviewed and how to give interviews. So, because we're looking at starting up the podcast again with the Your Family Tree Detective. We're going to have our own podcast for that. So we're looking at starting that up. So I'm looking forward to finding out more about how I can do that and target the message and everything else. So I am super pumped to be able to be on this workshop. And so while I was on the workshop today, Zephy got to work. She did. She loves puzzles. I mean, she loves puzzles. I give her a puzzle. They've got these interactive dog toys and stuff where they've got to move something out of the way, open something, slide something, swivel something, to get treats that you put onto these boards and things. She's got those. I mean, the first one took her 10 minutes to figure out. After that, 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get in. It didn't matter what board I put in front of her. 5 minutes, she was done. So I got her remember last week I showed you her new toy, which was the blue ball with the blue rubber ball with a tennis ball inside. And well, today she's been trying to get the tennis ball out of it. And I showed you the first day how she actually got the tennis ball out. She can see it's completely empty. And she brought the tennis ball to me so I could throw it for her while I was on my interview intensive class today. But that's the only hole that she made. All the other pieces on this thing are all attached. That's the only place that she chomped the support thing in, and she actually managed to figured out how to pull the tennis ball out of that hole, and she was very proud of herself. So that was her accomplishment today, and she either brings me this to throw or she'll bring me the tennis ball from inside it to throw. But she would even carry this by the tennis ball. She'd put her mouth in there and she would just with her front teeth grip the fur on the tennis ball and pick it up and walk with it. And so she managed to get enough of that leverage on that, and to be able to squish this up enough that she was able to pull the tennis ball out through this gap here. So she was very, very proud of herself today, and I'm just sort of like, okay, I've got to find something else to keep her mind occupied. She's just one of those dogs that you just got to keep her mind occupied in things, because she gets into mischief, or she'll go occupy her mind herself. So yes, it's been a really, really good day. Okay, I'm just going to refresh the screen, see if we've had any last minute voting. I haven't looked to see. Okay, so Now, who won this week? Let's have a look-see. Okay. All right, so here's the picture. And let's go over here. We've got Jeanette with 1 vote with Almost Got It. Brittany, they say the grass is always green on the other side, 3 votes. Fence, what fence has 1 vote? You got to break out to shine, 1 vote. I like that one. I might look like a dog, but I'm practicing to be a goat. That's got 3 votes. It's also got 2 at first place. Holy cow has got 1 vote. So where there's always green grass, that's supposed to be on the other side. Well, I tried. And that's got 1 vote. Let's see. You never know what's waiting for you on the other side's got 2 votes. I think I can. It's got 1 vote. And then, of course, Shannon begging for more votes on her one. So we actually have 2 first place winners. And with 2 first place winners, I let them both win. So Brittany and Shannon, congratulations. I will be contacting you both to see whether you want a personalized coffee mug, and pictures, sayings, quotes of your choice get to go on the coffee mug, or a journal. The journals are now back in stock, so I am super excited because I have journals to send out. So when they told me the journals were back in stock, I was like, yay! And we can actually customize the cover with a picture that you want on there, a saying that you want on there, and there's the little round snap button that we can also customize as well. So I will be contacting both Brittany and Shannon to see if you want a personalized coffee mug or a personalized journal. So start thinking about that, because I see you are both online right now. So congratulations, ladies. And let me know, and I will send you a private message and let me know if you want a mug or a journal, and we will get those all organized. You get to see the proofs before it's all sent out and everything else. So you send me the pictures, we make it up for you, we send you the proofs, you verify it. Once it's all verified and checked and everything, we then send them out to you, and then you guys usually let me, and then just let me know when they arrive so that I know that you got them safely, and see what you thought of the actual product when you actually get it. So congratulations to both Brittany and to Shannon for having the winning comments, both with 3 tied. If it's more than 2 people, then we go to the drawing thing. But yeah, so it's been an awesome day. My brain is fried. I'm exhausted. I am in desperate need of a haircut. Look at this. Look. I hate being able to see my fringe through my eyes. When I look straight ahead, I don't want to see any hair hanging down. Yeah, it's getting, I mean, it hasn't been cut in 6 months. So this is what 6 months of hair growth looks like on me. It's down to the tip of my nose. And it drives me bad. It's at my scraggly stage, as my mother calls it. I said, like, give it a couple of, I said to Mum, give it a couple of weeks and it will look half decent. Better than it does right now. So, yeah, so hope you all had a super fantastic sparkling day. I am off to, what am I going to do now? What are we going to do now, Zephy? She's already been out for a run. So I know she's watching all the dogs go past, because now it's time where the dog park gets busy. But most of the dogs that go over there are people with 2 dogs. And when there's 2 dogs, they kind of tend to gang up on Zephy. So they had these really big dogs over there. They weren't mastiffs, but they were large. They kind of looked a little like a mastiff, but they were a very small mastiff if they were. And there was an older dog with a young pup, and they were both the same breed of dog. They weren't big enough to be Great Danes. I'm trying to think what type of dogs they were. But they were both along the fence line. They had these really deep barks, and Zephy was just sort of like scurried over the other side of me and just literally stood beside my legs and stayed there and like peered around at these dogs. She was not having anything to do with them. And I thought, yeah, those dogs are a little on the large side. They were even bigger than Gus. I mean, they were taller than Gus. So they're probably kind of close to a Great Dane. But Gus, I remember Gus, when he was like 2, we went to the Reston Dog Park area and let him off the leash. And he was running around, and there was a 6-month-old Great Dane. Now, Gus, to the top of his head was 3 feet. It was 36 inches to the top of his head when he was standing correctly in the correct posture and everything. He was 36 inches to the top of his head. He was standing next to a 6-month-old Great Dane, and his head came to the top of the dog's shoulder. And that was for a 6-month-old Great Dane. These dogs definitely were not Great Danes, but they were big enough that if Zephy slowed down to play with them, or they actually managed to catch her, they could have done her some injury by just rolling over the top of her. They were very large dogs. So I was not going to take her in there. And then, it's very interesting to watch people with their dogs in dog parks. I've only seen a couple that will actually like wander around the dog park with their dog and pick up after them, All the other ones, there's a little shelter thingy there in the corner. They go sit on that on their phones and just let the dogs run around for however long they want them to run around for. There was a woman in there this morning with the Basset Hounds, and the Basset Hounds were going nuts as Zephy was walking past. I mean, they were barking all that. And she was just sitting there completely ignoring them on her phone, watching some video or something that was on there, because you could hear the talking going on the video and the laughing coming from the phone. And she wasn't even paying attention to the fact that if they pooped, about going and cleaning it up or anything like that. And I'm like, really? They have these big signs, clean up after your dogs. Some people just don't care. And it's kind of a pet peeve, there you go. But the fact that they just sit there on their phones, not even watching their dogs to see where they poop to go clean up after them. I mean, and it's not like there's nothing there to clean up. They've got the scoops there, they've got the bags there, they've got 2 trash cans in that place. So it's not that much effort to get off your butt. The only time I sit down when Zephy's in the park is when I'm giving her water, because I have her water bottle, so I sit down there so I'm at the right height, because I'm not going to bend over and hold her water bottle while she figures out if she's going to drink from it or anything else. And it's not one I can lay on the ground because the bottle's attached to the bowl piece. It's a bowl that folds off the bottle, and then you squeeze the water into the bowl, and so you got to hang on to it. So I just sit on the edge of the shelter thing there so she can drink from her water, and then as soon as she's done, that goes back in my little backpack thing that I carry, and I'm standing around and I'm watching. And if I know that she's about to poop, I'm following her, so that I don't have so far to walk. I'm like the other day, yesterday or the day before, I was sort of like, oh, please don't poop down the bottom of the basin. And she went halfway down, and I was sort of like, okay, I can deal with that. And it was close to the shallowest side of the basin as well, so I didn't have to go down steep hills, because they have some steep hills in that area there. But it's just interesting sitting here, and I can sit here and I can watch the owners in that dog park, and they say that it's under camera surveillance. I don't even know where the cameras are. Normally you can see where cameras are and that sort of stuff. No sign of any cameras in the dog park. They say that the campground's under camera surveillance. Haven't seen any cameras anywhere. And I thought I saw, well, that might be one of the other ones I was going to stay at. Some campgrounds will actually fine you $25 or $30 if you don't clean up, if you get caught not cleaning up after your dog. And there's one campground in Florida where they actually DNA test your dog, and you've got to pay the $10 to get it DNA tested. And if they find any poop laying around, they get it DNA tested, and if they match it up with your dog, you get fined. So it's sort of like, wow, that's a real incentive not to to make sure you clean up after your dog. But I think this dog park too, this campground also has fines for not cleaning up after your dog. And I'm seeing all the poop around the dog park, and I'm like, yeah, there are people who are not paying attention to this, and the campground owners are not paying attention to it either, because it's there. And some dogs like to eat dog poop. It's really weird and gross. My dog just like sniffs at it and then just walks away. Thank goodness, because if she tried eating it, I was gonna, that would not be good. But so it's very interesting watching people with dogs in dog parks to see if they actually pay attention. And I was actually in a dog park in, where was I? It was in Florida. Whatever the campground was, I stayed after the one I'd been at for 60 something nights. I was in there there was a young guy there, who's probably about 18, 19, and he had this dog in there, and the dog and Zephy were just running around having a blast. And his dog stopped and pooped, and I said to him, oh, your dog's pooping over there. And he just looks at it and carries on talking with me. I said, you gonna go clean that up? I had to tell him to go clean it up. I was like, really? And he would rather just stood there and talked and just ignored whatever the dog did. And I'm just like, yeah, no. People, if you have a dog, you are responsible for it. That means cleaning up their poop. It's just part of being a dog owner. Deal with it. Do it. Leave it clean and tidy for other people, because the dog poop laying around attracts flies and all sorts of other nasty thingies. So please, 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 my public service announcement, clean up after your dog. Anyway. All right. Now that I've got that off my chest, that feels so much better. So I'm off to, probably going to go watch a movie or something, because my brain needs to process everything from today. And of course tomorrow's Sunday, so we will be back tomorrow morning with your challenges for tomorrow, and tomorrow will be our day before travel. Got my next 2 stops organized. I'm still looking for places around Springdale, Arkansas. There's some places, there's some nice campgrounds and stuff. There's some that have got an age limit on the RV, which I can't get into because my RV is 14 years old and they won't take anything over 10. And then there's a lot that won't take dogs. So, yeah. But I'll save that for probably tomorrow or Monday. Yeah, as long as I can find something by Friday, we'll be good. Yeah, that'll work. I'll find something. Anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Congratulations again to Brittany and Shannon on winning either a personalized coffee mug or a personalized journal. I will be in contact with you about those to see what you would like. And we will catch you guys tomorrow morning with your challenge for the day. So have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Hei konera.